Welcome to the Prime Finance Report. I'm your host, and today we're diving into a comprehensive explainer that could, quite literally, fundamentally shift your entire wealth trajectory. We're tearing down the dangerous consumer traps that are keeping so many people completely broke, and we're revealing the exact actionable steps you need to take to achieve true investor freedom.
Look, let me ask you a very real question right up front. Are you earning more money now, but somehow feeling way less free? Right? It's the ultimate illusion of modern wealth. We see so many high earners trapped living paycheck to paycheck. I mean, they're driving incredibly nice cars, living in fantastic neighborhoods, but they carry absolutely zero peace of mind. The truth is, the rising income is just masking a deeply rooted emotional spending problem that we really have to fix.
Okay, so here's our roadmap for this explainer. We're hitting the mindset shift, the baseline budget, building an emergency buffer, debt paydown, breaking bad habits, and wrapping up with funding the future. Let's jump right in.
First up, Section 1, the mindset shift. Honestly, financial progress is just going to be impossible until you completely change how you view time and discomfort.
Think about it. A consumer mindset is all about seeking immediate emotional relief and building this highly visible identity. Buying that flashy designer watch or an entirely new wardrobe just to feel a quick, fleeting hit of success today. But the investor mindset, it's the exact opposite. It actually tolerates discomfort and fully embraces delayed gratification. While consumers use money to instantly regulate their mood, true investors are perfectly fine sitting with temporary discomfort for the ultimate prize of long-term independence.
Because becoming an investor really isn't about stock picking or analyzing complex charts or having insider market knowledge right out of the gate. No, it is pure emotional mastery. It's developing the psychological grit to delay gratification without feeling deprived or like you're missing out. Once you control your emotional orientation toward time and you separate your core identity from the stuff you buy, the actual math of building wealth becomes incredibly easy.
Moving on to Section 2, the baseline budget. This is where we start directing your dollars on purpose. Frameworks like the 50-30-20 rule, so that's 50% for needs, 30% for wants, and 20% for savings, they literally force you to be intentional. And whether you use this broad percentage method or a strict zero-based budgeting app on your phone, the absolute goal here is to give every single dollar a specific, predetermined job before it even hits your bank account. Because if your money doesn't have written instructions, it's just going to disappear into thin air.
All right, Part 3, the emergency buffer. It's time to build your ultimate financial safety net. So there are 5 definitive steps to building a rock-solid emergency fund. First, calculate your absolute baseline monthly expenses. Then, set a clear cash target based on that. From there, you've got to automate your savings contributions. Make that money move before you even have a chance to think about spending it. Next, reallocate any extra funds, like canceling those streaming subscriptions you never watch. And finally, continuously monitor and adjust the plan as your life changes.
You need to literally stack those cash reserves. The golden rule in personal finance is aiming for 3 to 6 months of total living expenses held right there in accessible cash. Having this dedicated reserve is exactly what lets you navigate a crazy medical bill, a blown transmission on your car, or a sudden job loss without totally derailing your stability, or worse, resorting to high-interest credit cards just to survive.
Section 4, debt paydown. Now that our defense is set and we've got a buffer, it is time to go on the offense and attack the past.
When you're attacking debt, you really have 2 main paths. You could go with the snowball method, where you aggressively target your smallest balances first. This is all about human psychology, giving you highly motivating quick wins to keep your momentum up. Or you can use the avalanche method. That means eliminating your highest interest rate debt first, which mathematically saves you the absolute most money over time. Just pick the one that keeps you the most motivated to stick with the plan.
But whatever strategy you choose, there are cardinal rules you absolutely must follow. Build that emergency fund first so you don't backslide during a crisis. Always pay the minimums on all your other accounts to fiercely protect your credit score. Track your daily spending, and here's a massive pro tip. Actually pick up the phone and call your credit card issuers to negotiate lower interest rates. Honestly, you'd be shocked by how often they say yes just to keep your business.
Section 5, breaking bad habits. It is time to stop the financial bleeding once and for all. $475.25. That is the shocking amount the average American household is now spending on groceries every single week. Crazy, right? It perfectly demonstrates how easily our baseline costs can quietly inflate over time without us even noticing the shift.
If you aren't paying close attention, little convenience purchases and minor upgrades will quietly and thoroughly bankrupt you over a decade. You've got to beware of lifestyle creep. Think of it as your own personal rate of inflation. It happens when you finally get that big promotion, and instead of investing the extra cash, you immediately lease a luxury car or upgrade your apartment. You're incrementally increasing your discretionary spending to match your income, which essentially guarantees you stay perpetually broke, regardless of how high your salary actually gets.
We also need to ruthlessly eliminate buy now, pay later schemes. Look, treat these like a toxic relationship and break up with them today. Stop using them, pay off the balances, and delete the apps right off your phone. To replace that shopping high, go find healthy dopamine hits. Hit the gym, listen to some great music, and if you really want a big-ticket item, build a sinking fund. Slowly save up the cash in advance and completely avoid the debt.
All right, Section 6, Funding the Future. This is all about taking back control and automating your wealth.
Which brings us to reverse budgeting. By adopting this pay-yourself-first method, you prioritize your financial goals immediately. The literal second your paycheck hits your checking account, a predetermined portion is automatically routed straight into your investments and savings accounts. You then force yourself to live only on what is left over, rather than playing that losing game of trying to save whatever happens to be left at the very end of the month. As we head into our actionable takeaway for today's explainer, I really want you to internalize this powerful truth. You cannot buy style, or beauty, or confidence. You cannot buy health, fitness, or true happiness. Absolutely nothing you purchase at a checkout counter will ever actualize your internal worthiness or self-esteem. And once you realize that, the consumer trap permanently loses its power over you. So here is your practical action step for today. Start a no-buy project. This is a strictly defined period, let's say 30 full days, where you completely abstain from purchasing in your specific problem categories. Maybe that means no takeout food, no new clothes, or no random tech gadgets. To find your time frame, pick those trigger categories and set firm, unbending rules to finally break that addiction to buying things for your fantasy self.
I'm going to leave you with this final thought. Can you embrace emotional discomfort today to guarantee your financial freedom tomorrow? Look, shifting from a consumer to an investor means reframing delayed gratification. It's not a sacrifice, it is not a punishment, it is the ultimate empowering choice to buy back your future leverage, your precious time, and your absolute peace of mind.
Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer right here on the Prime Finance Report. I want to send a big, smiling goodbye to all of you out there. If you found value in this breakdown, please don't forget to subscribe to our channel and like, share, and subscribe. Keep mastering your money, and we'll see you next time.